Hello, welcome to my channel and welcome to Lucid's Advanced Manufacturing Plant in Casa Grande, Arizona. Today is Friday, January 17th, 2025. Right off the bat, here is a gravity around the little test track area heading back into the factory. We might get another peek of this gravity or a different gravity later on in the video. I think in all likelihood it's probably the same one that we saw at two different times, but there's no way to tell. This one is Aurora Green, which is what all of the 9 cars that were delivered on the 29th of December were. It was the Aurora Green with stealth package. It looks the same here. So it's good to see a little bit more production of gravity as this gravity disappears back into the factory. And the door behind it seems to close pretty darn fast. So let's take a look at the inventory lots. We are on the east side of the factory, the southeast side. This is where inventory cars have been stored off and on. Last time I was here on December 20th, this lot was quite full. It appears that a little bit of inventory was built prior to Christmas and New Year's, because my understanding is the factory took a little bit of time off between Christmas and New Year's. And so having that extra inventory allowed them to maintain sales and productions. Notice right up against the factory there is another gravity right there. It may be the same one, but it's one that I didn't notice at first, and from the other angle, looking to the east, it was not there. So I'm going to just assume it's the same one. It's possibly a second gravity, but I'm going to assume it's the same one. It still looks Aurora Green to me. These are the typical staging lots on the south side of the factory, the southwest side actually, and you can see a lot fewer cars here in this lot than on December 20th when I flew over before. So it looks like Lucid's continuing to ramp sales. We know that the Q4 production numbers and sales numbers were both very good. Based on how much inventory is being shipped and moved to design studios, service centers, and delivery centers. It looks like production and sales is doing pretty well as we start the new year here on the 17th of January. And as we continue to the west, we'll see some car carriers being loaded. I saw 2 car carriers leaving the factory as I was driving in today. No gravity being loaded onto the car carriers. Those are all airs, a little bit closer view of the car carriers, just to make sure that I didn't miss anything in there. I would really like to see a handful of gravity, especially in different colors. This is looking to the east. That's that same lot. You can see the car haulers here in the foreground. And we're heading a little bit to the north as we fly and take a look at this whole lot. But like I said before, a lot fewer cars here than on December 20th. And now we'll start up at the north end of the factory and just do a fly around of both the east side and the west side. So we're on the east side. Looking to the west, in the background is the stamping line. In the foreground is body in white. And we'll just move south and take a look at the employee cars and how many people are working at the factory on a Friday. I think I have told you before that I placed an order for a gravity on December 7th. I have been contacted a couple of times by my sales advisor in the Scottsdale studio. I don't have any information for when test drives might be available or when my gravity may be delivered. I am just guessing with a slow ramp of gravity that we'll start to see some appear at some of the design studios, probably sometime in February, and hopefully with test drives allowed for reservation holders shortly after that. So I'm anxiously awaiting a call or an email from my sales advisor at the Scottsdale studio so that I can learn more about when I might get a gravity. We also know that there were 9 gravity delivered on December 29th. Most of those went to friends and family of Lucid and Lucid employees. I have attached a couple of pictures of those 9 SUVs, along with a close-up of a couple of them. It was quite a nice event, and it was an honor that Lucid invited me to join that event and watch the original 9 new owners of Gravity take possession of their Gravity. As we continue to move south, we'll soon get to where those inventory cars are stored. Again, this is the kind of parking area that's wide open. You can see the tire marks. That's where Lucid has done a couple of demos demonstrating the performance with rear wheel steering of the Lucid Gravity. The tire marks are fading, but they are still there. Still love to take a ride in a Gravity through that course, maybe someday if I'm lucky. So here are the inventory cars again. Like I said before, a lot fewer than on December 20th. So we're at the south end of the factory now, and we'll move to the west side of the factory, up at the north end, so doing the same thing we did when we were on the east side. That's the stamping line there, just moving out of view, body in white area in the background there, painting facility coming up here on the right. Look at the size of those air handlers or air conditioners. Man, those are big. As you can see, they're still doing construction at the factory, continuing to finish their tooling and equipment installation in the factory. I was kind of curious today when I flew this if on some of these lots on the west side, if there would be some Gravity that kind of hidden out of view, waiting transport to a design center or a design studio somewhere, but I didn't see any on the west side. I do see an Air driving along the back of the factory, so I assume that's an Air that's used to transport employees around the factory during working days. And we'll just continue to the south, looking to the east on the west side of the factory, and ultimately we'll end up back at that staging lot where the car haulers are and most of the inventory of cars awaiting transport are sitting. And here's that staging lot again. Again, you can see all the open spaces on this lot. A little bit of dust from a truck that just went by. And the car haulers and the staging lot in the background as we come to the south end of the factory. And so here's the delivery event of the 9 Gravity, all Aurora green, stealth combination with the large wheels. A little closer view of it, same thing. Those large wheels look really nice on the Gravity. And again, just another view of it. So it was nice to see these brand new Gravity out there. And so there's me. So that's it for today. Thank you for watching.